What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to my second gun guide of Delta Force. If you didn't know, I'm going to be making a gun guide with every single gun in the game as long as I'm going to max them out. So I maxed out the SG-552 and I played the pre-alpha as well. Unfortunately, I discovered this gun a little bit late. Why? Because it's on the Recon class. The Recon class has a weird section of guns. There's some SMGs on the Recon class. There's even shotguns on the Recon class. There's snipers, DMRs. The Recon class in this game feels a little bit chaotic, almost, I would say. However, the SG-552 is only on the Recon class. The Recon class might not be the most fun class to use. However, it's quite a useful class to play when you're trying to help your teammate with spots, and you can use the bolt. I guess the electric bolt to kill players in campy spot, or at least make a move. But the SG-552 with a 906 rate of fire might be, I think it personally is, it was in the pre-alpha and I still think the gun is absolutely insane, the best gun in Delta Force. I think it is a fair thing to say for now. For now, the SG-552 I consider personally the best gun in the game. It has an extremely high rate of fire, a very controllable recoil, a decent reload. I find the reload a bit slow, a decent muzzle velocity, and overall great attachments for the gun once you unlock them. So I maxed out the SG-552. And in the beginning, which is really what I like about this gun, it's already quite good. Once you get it to level 10, you get a couple of nice sights, you get a couple of grips and such, and you can already make the gun really nice. It becomes even better when you unlock the extended mag. Because of the high rate of fire, you burn through your mag extremely fast. So that's one of the down parts of using the SG-552. But I feel like you're basically winning every gunfight, especially when you're using the right attachments. I'll be showing the attachments later on. First, I want to get a bit into the playstyle of the SG-552, which I thought was quite interesting for a Recon class. If you're used to Battlefield, the Recon class usually is more of the slower side of the classes and weapons. Usually have used snipers on the Recon class, you have DMRs on the Recon class. Like Battlefield 5, for example, you only had the two-shot snipers and you had the bolt action snipers. In 2042, you don't really have classes, but if you follow the classes, again, they wanted you to use snipers. In Battlefield 4 and 3 also, there were snipers only or DMRs. Delta Force is doing this a little bit different. So the SG-552 actually might be one of the more aggressive assault rifles in the game. It's definitely an assault rifle, the way you can play it. However, I have beaten a lot of SMGs up close. I've beaten a lot of assault rifles. If you get good with the recoil control, because the recoil might seem high on it, but for the rate of fire, 906 again, it is pretty controllable. Again, maybe with the right attachment. So what you not want to do is play the long range. You want to be in that mid-range to close range action, which can be a little bit confusing maybe. And of course, with the Recon class, when you're spotting people, you normally play a little bit more defensive. You don't want to be doing that with this gun. It's a more of an aggressive mid-range gun. You can play a bit defensive with it as well, but you're just not going to be able to take out the players from long range. But from medium and close range, you're going to be the dominant weapon to use in gunfights. So let's get into the attachments that I recommend using. So here we got the setup. For sights, I would recommend any of the red dot sights. Personally, on this gun, for some reason, I like the panoramic red dot sight. I really like the combat red dot sight as well on this gun, and which I also would recommend at least trying out is the OKP7 reflex sight. Looks a bit weird, but it's actually quite nice for these guns. I would not really recommend going with a higher zoom. I've also tried the 1.5 to 5 times, which might seem a little bit weird, but the 1.5, if you just leave it on 1.5, it's perfect. So this is also a thing which if you use the 1.5 times scope, you can actually take out players from long range. However, you lose a little bit of the close combat, because with scopes it's always a little bit awkward using them in close range gunfights. So that's why I would recommend any of the red dot sights. Personally, I went with the panoramic red dot. Now for the handle, the stock, sorry, I mean, lightning rail stock increases the handling, and why I went with increased handling is because I put a extended mag on it, which reduces the handling, so I needed something to cover that up. You lose stability though. Stability is your gun swaying around. It is not recoil control. Recoil control is different. That's when you're shooting. But stability is when the gun is kind of swaying around, which also makes it hard to hit your target. So with the setup I'm using it right now, it's definitely more of a medium to short range setup. Then for the rear grip, I went with the Invasion rear grip, which increases control and handling again. Again, compensating for this. There's only an upside of this control again, making the recoil control a bit better. Then I went with the extended mag. 30 rounds honestly is good, but I would go recommend going with the extended mag simply because of that high rate of fire. You need to compensate. I was honestly struggling to kill more than 2 players with a 30 round mag, and with the 45 round mag you can allow yourself to miss a couple more shots and still be able to pick up a couple of targets within 1 mag. Of course, you're using the mag mount. There's no reason not to use the mag mount basically. Also, by the way, this is just the color. Doesn't really matter which one you're using, whatever you prefer. On the front grip, we have the tactical vertical foregrip, increasing that handling again. There's also a grip. I'm gonna quickly scroll through them. This one is quite nice. Handling, extra stability when firing. I also very much like this grip. I ended up going with the tactical vertical grip because this one increases the vertical recoil penalty, which was definitely noticeable. So I went with the tactical vertical foregrip. But if you don't like the stability because of that stock you're using, try the CR Prism's hand stop. I think that's how you pronounce it. I also played a little bit with this one. Very good foregrip. Now for the barrel, I went with the practical flash hider, control and muzzle flash concealment, which I thought was nice. Don't really go play with silencers in this game. If you like playing with silencers, maybe try out a silencer, but don't really do that myself. I put 1 laser on it. Why? Because I do play aggressive, so the hip fire basically increases with the laser sight. It's a bit confusing that it says plus handling and minus handling. You definitely will notice that that the ADS is a little bit slowed down when you use the laser. And for the heavy barrel, this is one thing you unlock very late, but it makes the gun so much better. The heavy barrel, increasing the range, muzzle velocity, and control. Basically allows you to pick up players from longer range. This is one of the last attachments you unlock. You unlock it at least later on. Don't know the exact level, to be honest. I don't know if it says it somewhere here. I don't think it does. But definitely when you unlock the heavy barrel, you're going to notice a huge difference in the beaminess of this gun, basically. Yeah, and again, I added 1 laser here. Did I miss anything? That is basically going to be it for the full SG-552 setup. You maxed it out at level 68, so you maxed it out pretty fast. Here it's maxed out. Hope you guys thought this video was useful. Definitely give this gun a go. You unlock it very quick at level 15, I believe. So yeah, hope you guys are going to enjoy my setup. Consider subscribing for more Delta Force content and gun guides. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.